took some polls on Instagram about what people would like to see, and a lot of people, I think actually everyone, said more like an everyday makeup tutorial, and I'm gonna have like a 5-minute, 10-minute makeup tutorial coming soon. This is just kind of a little bit extra everyday, if you say. Some people don't wear this much makeup and some people will. It's just what you choose. You can skip out on some of the steps or do them all. It's whatever fits your style. And yeah. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and jump right in. Alright, so the first thing I do is I just take a green color corrector and any like breakouts that I have, I just kind of put them over because the green cancels the redness. So just a few. There we go. And then I have some like red scarring left. Okay. And then I always use a beauty blender, or it's a Real Techniques beauty blender or beauty sponge, whatever you would like to call it. And I get it damp, I squeeze it under the water and just about 5 times or so, and then squeeze out the excess water, and that's just how I use it. And this is how I apply any foundation or concealer or anything. And I just take a little bit of foundation and pump a little bit on there, and then just kind of work it into my skin over the green concealer, and just work it all in. Okay, so then after that I always go in with a brightening corrector for under my eyes, because I'm a mom and mamas need a little bit of help in that area for all those dark circles, since you just don't really get a lot of sleep as a mom. And I just apply it with my finger and kind of put it mainly in the inner corner of my eyes, because that's kind of where it's the darkest. And it totally just brightens up your under eye so much. The one I use is from Becca, Tarte Shape Tape. It's almost gone. I need to get a new one. If you buy anything from this video or makeup, I would say this concealer is one of the best concealers I've used ever. So I just make like a triangle under my eye, kind of bring it up just like that, and then on the other one I kind of bring it down around my nose. And then I just take that same beauty blender and work it out, blend it out, work it out, whatever, blend it out. And I go over my eyelid just to cancel out any redness up there. Again, if you're not this full coverage kind of gal every day, then you know, just use the concealer under your eyes and on any blemishes. Concealer under your eyes, you want it to be 1 or 2 shades lighter than your skin tone, and then for blemishes you want it to be the exact color of your skin tone, because your blemishes, you want to hide them, you don't want to brighten them and make them noticeable. Okay, so right after that I always set it, and I just started using, this is KKW, it's Kim Kardashian's Bake Brightening Powder or whatever, and I have another beauty sponge, and I use it dry, and I just put it in and go right under where I just used that concealer, and just dab it around, and I'm gonna let that sit for just a few minutes, bake it. So yeah, there's that part. And then from there, I am just going to go in with eyeshadow palette. You can use, or excuse me, I'm gonna do, just to make it easy, make it have just one palette for kind of everything, since it's an everyday makeup look. You don't really need too much stuff, but I'm just gonna take, this is a Morphe M33 brush, and it's just a big feathery brush, and I'm gonna go in with my Kat Von D contour shade light palette, and I'm just gonna dip into this color right here to kind of set my eyelids, and just brush it all over the eyelid. Alright, I'm gonna take that same brush and I'm gonna dip into this, ooh, can you see that? This first shade. As you can tell, it's my favorite out of the palette because it's missing a lot, but I just dip it in, I tap off any extra, and I just go into the crease of my eye. So if you don't know where the crease is, just kind of close it and then put your finger, and you can feel there's like a little dip in your eye from your bone to your actual eyelid, and that's where your crease is. And so if you have a smaller eye and you want it, your eyes to look bigger, then you can always bring it up, bring the crease, you're making it look like you have a bigger eye, so you're gonna pretend that the crease is in a different spot for the shadow. And for the shadow, you always want to use like a skin tone, one shade darker than your skin tone for the crease part, just to kind of bring that shadow in. So I'm gonna go in and find my crease and then just kind of blend it, and I'm just going back and forth in this in kind of circular motion. So back and forth like windshield wipers, and circle, just to kind of get it all around in there and blend it out. Alright, and I'm going to do that on the other eye too, and this just adds a little bit of depth to the eyes for like an everyday look. This next step I don't always do, but when I want to bring a little bit more drama during the day to my eyes, then I'll go in with this darkest shade right here. And then I just put it on the outer part. So I just literally take it, make circles, kind of blend it out, and just doing the circles and windshield wiper motions just to blend it out, make sure there's no harsh lines. And this just adds a little bit more depth to your eye. Alright, and do that same thing on the next eye. Circular motions just on that outer part. You make it darker, as light as you want, whatever you choose. It's your eyes, you choose. Alright, so then the next thing I'm going to do is going back to the face. I'm just going to take this Morphe E48 brush, looks like this, and just dust away that powder that has been sitting there baking. This just really sets your eyes and makes it look airbrushed, and it makes it from not creasing. So I would suggest doing this powder right after you do your concealer, so that the concealer has no time to set into your fine lines and cause any creasing. And then this step is totally optional. Obviously, I'm only doing it because I just got the Kim Kardashian Conceal Bake and Brightening Kit, and this powder right here is the last step in it, and it's the brightening powder. So if you really like that bright under eye, you can use this. So I just take that brush that I just used that to wipe away the other powder and dip it in, tap off the excess, and just put it right under that, just to brighten it up a little bit more. Some people set their whole face with powder, I just choose to set where I put my concealer, which is today I've only did under my eyes. Alright, so going back into that palette that we used for our eyes, I'm going to bronze and contour my face. So I'm taking this brush. This is also a Morphe M527 brush. It's just a big fluffy brush, looks like that. And I go in with this middle shade right here to bronze up my face. I tap it in a few times, and then I just make this silly fishy face and bronze up my face. I do my cheekbones. Along the upper part of my forehead or the sides. And then my chin area, just so that everything matches and we are not have a crazy line right here. And then if you want to take it a step further and you have time, or you like to chisel out your cheekbones, I just take this brush. It's a little angled brush, looks like that, and I go in with that first shade right here, my most favorite, and I contour my cheekbones. Again, I don't do this every single day, you know, we got time for that. This is just an extra step if you have time or you want to chisel out, like I said, those cheekbones. So you make that fishy face again, and you can smile, and it will really show you where the line is that you need to chisel or follow to make those cheekbones go. Alright, so you can just suck in like a fish and then try to smile. You might look really silly, but that's okay. And with this, you always want to go starting up. You want to use that brush and just go up, and then you can always take it up the side of your face, the forehead area, just to add a little more contour there. And you do the same thing on the other side. And then you want to do the sides just to bring in a little bit more evenness all throughout the face. And then you can always do your nose too. I don't normally do my nose. If anything, I might just kind of dust it like that, and then that's it. Okay, so then the next thing that I do is blush. This is Milani Luminoso Baked Powder Blush. I think it's like an everyday color. It's a little peachy. It's coming off really, really pink. But it's not that pink. And I just take this brush. It kind of, Morphe E3 brush. I don't know if this is what it's used for. This is what I use it for. And I just kind of dip it in a couple times, tap it off. You want to smile, and you want to do the apples of your cheeks. And kind of blend it back. Alright, so there's that part. And then I just take that brush that I use to use the bronzer to bronze up my face, and I kind of just go over it and make sure everything's blended together so that there's no crazy lines, and, you know, don't want to be looking like the Napoleon ice cream or whatever it's called. It's the chocolate, the white, the vanilla, and then the strawberry. So you have like the vanilla, you have the strawberry, and the chocolate. You want it all blended to make it look even and no crazy lines. So there's that. Alright, so then the next thing that I do is just fill in my eyebrows just a little bit. I don't go too crazy. I don't really do an artificial brow just because, again, don't really have time for that. And yes, so I just kind of use the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow definer. They have a little spoolie on the end and I love that, and I just brush through your brows. And then I take the other end and just kind of go what I have already and kind of just fill in where it's sparse. And this eyebrow is a little bit shorter, so I kind of add at the very end, but not by much. And then I just do the front just a little bit, and not a lot at all. It's really, really sparse right in this area, so that's kind of where I do it the most. So there's that, and then I do the other side. Make sure they're semi-even. Eyebrows are never even and all of that. And then I brush through to make it look more natural and not as dark. And then do the other one. And then I've been using this little brow gel for years. Obviously, it's really, really dirty. Not this exact one for years, but this type for years. I've heard great things of other ones. I just have always used this one because it's like $3 or $4. I don't know. It's the Ulta brand brow gel. I just dip it in. It comes in clear, but because I use the brow definer in a brown shade when I use the spoolie of this, it brings back brown and goes in there. So it looks really dirty, but it's supposed to be clear. So, and I just kind of brush up and into what I just did, just to make them stick and not move all day. Ooh, get some hair up in there. All right, so there's that. And the next thing that we're gonna do is a little bit of eyeliner. Not much because we're keeping it a little daytime natural. So what I like to do, and here's a few tips. I'm gonna get kind of super close, so don't mind that. But what you want to do is when you're doing your eyeliner on the top part of your lids, you want to look down. You don't want to close your eyes, and you don't want to pull. I tend to pull sometimes, and I'm trying to get better because it causes wrinkles and all of that. So try not to pull. Don't be like me. And you want to look down, so place your mirror maybe a little bit below and look down. And then what you're gonna do is just kind of tap and pull, if you so you get on, tap, pull, and just make a small line across. You can kind of be messy, or I'm usually messy. I use a light brown because I feel like it just makes my eyes pop more rather than a black. I feel like black is just too harsh. There you go. And then the last thing for eyes, you can use eye mascara primer on your eyelids, and this is just a sample that I got, I think, for like the Sephora birthday thing. It's the La Mer, Lancome mascara. I don't even know what it's called because it's kind of come off on that. I don't even know if you can see that, but I just prime my eyelashes with this, and it's almost gone. Let that sit for a second. While that's sitting for just like 30 seconds, if that, I'm just going to use a little bit of this Too Faced Supreme Pumping Lip Gloss and put it on my lips. make them look like moisturized, and yes. Alright, and then I just take this L'Oreal Paris Telescopic Mascara from the drugstore. I think this is one of the best drugstore mascaras. And I don't know, I think it's like 11 or 12 bucks. I'm not really sure. Don't quote me on that. But then I just take it, and I love the brush. It has such like fine little brush things on it. I don't even know how to describe that, but yes. And then a tip here is what you want to do is kind of get all the way at the end, and then you want to wiggle it and pull, wiggle and pull. What you can also do, obviously, is close your eye too, and it will help. So close it at the same time, wiggle and pull, wiggle and pull. That just makes sure that like you're getting every single lash in there, and then kind of do the top as well. I mean, what a difference does mascara make for your lashes? Amazing! And then you do the other side, and you just put it all the way at the end, and you wiggle, 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 and pull. Alright, and then you can always do your bottom lashes. You just want to take it like this and go across. Just a little bit, not too much, because this is daytime and we don't want to be too crazy. Alright, and the very last step that I do is I just spray. You can use a finishing spray, whatever. I use this Mario Pescuti. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sorry. But, yeah, the lighting's not working with me either. Can't speak. Yeah, nope. Okay, so it's just this facial spray with aloe, herbs, and rose water, and I just kind of spray it just a little bit, you know, 3 or 4, and then I go back in with my damp beauty blender, not the one I use the powder with, the dry one, but the damp one that I use for my foundation and my concealer, and I kind of just press everything in. I feel like this really helps kind of make it look more like skin, makes it look hydrated, makes it look natural, because we all want it to look natural, even though we're wearing a face ton of makeup, right? Alright, push it all in, blend it all together. Okay, and that's just kind of an everyday, a little bit more makeup than what people typically probably want to wear for an everyday makeup look, but that's just kind of what I do if I have time, which normally I don't, but if I have the time or want to look a little put together, more than a little put together and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to see more videos or have any suggestions of what to see, then just leave a comment. Let me know what you would like to see, and then let me know what you think of this video. I haven't made a video in a really long time, so thank you for watching, and just thank you for your suggestions. Alright, have a good night. Bye!